The bass throbbed through the crowded penthouse, sticky with sweat and perfume. I sipped my vodka soda, scanning the room for Liam, until she walked in. Sophia Loren. The air shifted. Conversations stuttered. Heads turned. She was flawless. High, sculpted cheekbones that caught the light like marble. A tiny, upturned nose that made her profile look photoshopped. Lips so full and pink they seemed permanently bruised from kissing. Her platinum hair cascaded down her back in a silken wave, and her body, God, long legs, a waist I could circle with my hands, hips that swayed like she knew everyone was watching. And they were. Especially Liam. My stomach dropped as his gaze locked onto her, his usual lazy smirk sharpening into something hungry. He pushed off the wall, running a hand through his dark hair as he moved toward her. I glanced down at my reflection in my phone screen, round face, soft jaw, ordinary brown eyes. My nose was a little too wide. My lips weren't as plump. My cheekbones? Non-existent compared to hers. You okay? Jess shouted over the music, following my stare. I forced a laugh. Just wondering what it's like to be that pretty. Jess rolled her eyes. Sophia's basic. You're hotter. But she was lying. We both knew it. Across the room, Liam whispered something in Sophia's ear. She threw her head back, laughing, her manicured hand resting on his chest. That's when I decided. I wanted to be her. Not just pretty. Devastating. I drained my drink, the vodka burning my throat. What if I could make him look at me like that? What if I could make everyone? I couldn't stop staring at Sophia's Instagram. Tap. Her vacation photo, bikini-clad on a yacht, skin glazed with sunlight. Tap. A close-up of her lips wrapped around a strawberry, gloss shining. Tap. Liam's comment, perfection. My thumb hovered over the plastic surgery clinic's website for the third night in a row. You're not seriously considering this. Jess snatched my phone away, her curls bouncing as she shook her head. You're fucking gorgeous, Elena. I grabbed it back. Then why does Liam look at her like she's the last woman on earth? Jess sighed, flopping onto my bed. Because he's an idiot. Changing your face won't change that. But she didn't understand. It wasn't just about Liam. It was about walking into a room and feeling powerful instead of invisible. The next morning, I sat in Dr. Kwan's pristine office, knees bouncing. You have lovely features, he said, tilting my chin with gloved fingers. But we can enhance them. I swiped to Sophia's photo. I want this. His brow flickered, almost imperceptibly. We don't replicate others. But we can get you close. The computer screen morphed my face. Nose narrowed and upturned. Cheeks carved hollow. Lips plump to obscenity. A stranger stared back. Beautiful. Unrecognizable. When can we start? My voice didn't sound like mine. Jess's words echoed as I signed the forms, you're not her. But as the pen hit the desk, all I heard was Sophia's laugh, and the sound of my own heartbeat, loud as a warning. The first cut was the deepest. I lay on the operating table, staring at the ceiling lights as the anesthesia crept through my veins. Dr. Kwan's masked face hovered above me. Count backwards from 10, he said. 10. 9. 8. Darkness. I woke up screaming. My face was fire and knives and crushing pressure all at once. Bandages suffocated my skin, tight as a second skeleton. The nurse handed me a mirror with pity in her eyes. Swelling's normal, she said. The reflection was monstrous, purple bruises, stitched lips, a nose splinted with tape. My eyes watered, but crying hurt too much. Jess gasped when she saw me. Jesus, Elena. I typed on my phone since talking was agony, worth it. Weeks passed. The bruises faded. The stitches dissolved. And then I saw her. The woman in the mirror had Sophia's cheekbones, Sophia's lips, Sophia's perfect upturned nose. My old freckles were gone. My round face was now all sharp angles and hollows. I touched my reflection. Who are you? But when I walked into a cafe, heads turned. A guy dropped his coffee. A girl whispered to her friend, "Is that an influencer?" Liam texted me for the first time in months, "Damn. You look different." I should have been happy. So why did I feel like I'd lost something? Jess squeezed my hand. "You okay?" I forced a smile, my new lips stretching unfamiliar and stiff. Never better. The first time I saw my reflection without swelling, I vomited. Not from pain, from recognition. The mirror showed a flawless stranger, cheekbones like glass edges, lips plump as ripe fruit, a nose so delicate it looked breakable. My old freckles were gone, my rounded chin sharpened to a point. Even my eyebrows sat higher, giving me a permanent look of faint surprise. I touched my face. The skin felt numb. At first, the attention was intoxicating. Men bought me drinks without me asking. Women eyed me with jealousy instead of pity. Liam finally kissed me in a dark club corner, his hands gripping my new waist like he wanted to memorize it. But then, the cracks appeared. My lips stayed slightly parted, the filler too heavy to close properly. My smile looked strained, the muscles resisting their new shape. When I cried, my tears pooled unnaturally in my immobile undereyes. "And Sophia?" She laughed when she saw me. "Pathetic," she whispered at a party, her champagne flute glinting. "You paid to be a bootleg version of me." Liam pulled away when my stitch scars peeked above my collar. "It's just, not you," he muttered. Even Jess hesitated before hugging me. "Your face, it's cold." That night, I smashed my bathroom mirror. Shards rained down, reflecting 100 twisted versions of a girl I didn't know. The club bathroom's fluorescent lights exposed everything. I stared at my reflection under the harsh glare, watching as a single tear rolled down my cheek, except it didn't roll. It pooled unnaturally in the hollow under my eye before sliding down in a jagged line, diverted by the new topography of my face. Liam's words still burned in my ears, "It's like kissing a mannequin." I pressed shaking fingers to my lips. They felt foreign, too full, too stiff, the filler creating a permanent pout that no longer matched my emotions. When I tried to frown, my forehead remained eerily smooth. Botox had frozen my grief. The door burst open. Sophia walked in, her posse of perfect friends trailing behind. She took one look at me and smirked. "Ah, is the wannabe crying?" she cooed, leaning closer to examine my face. "Oh my God, your right cheekbone is totally lopsided now. Dr. Kwan fucked you up." Her friends erupted in giggles. One snapped a photo. Flash on. I lunged for her phone just as my knee gave out, another side effect of the rapid weight loss I'd undergone to match her figure. I crashed into the sink, my forehead hitting the mirror with a sickening crack. When I looked up, blood trickled from a gash above my eyebrow. But what made me scream wasn't the pain, it was the realization that even my blood looked wrong as it dripped down my plastic perfect face. Sophia's laughter followed me out the door. The last thing I heard before stumbling into the night was her shouting after me. "Next time, try loving yourself instead of buying my face." A year later, I stood before the mirror again. The swelling had subsided, leaving behind something in between, not the girl I was, not the fantasy I'd bought. My cheek implants had been removed after one got infected, leaving slight hollows where the surgeon's knife had cut too deep. My lips had shrunk back to almost normal, though they'd never quite regained their natural shape. I touched the faint scar above my eyebrow, Sophia's parting gift. The doctor said it would fade completely in time, but I kept it. A reminder. On my dresser lay 2 photos, one of my old face, round and smiling at Jess' birthday party, another from my peak, when I'd looked most like Sophia, all sharp angles and vacant eyes. Neither was me anymore. Liam had texted last week, some drunken, "You up?" message I'd deleted. Jess had stuck by me through the multiple corrective surgeries, though she still flinched sometimes when I laughed too hard and my face did that weird twitch. The plastic surgeon had offered more revisions. "We can fix the asymmetry," he'd said, pointing to where my right nostril flared slightly less than the left. I'd walked out. Now, as I applied mascara, my hand didn't shake. The reflection staring back had shadows under her eyes from too many sleepless nights, a nose that turned up just a little too much, and a crooked smile that was finally mine again. Not beautiful. Not perfect. But real. I picked up the third photo on my dresser, taken yesterday. Me. Just me. For the first time in years, I didn't hate what I saw. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe.